Hey, what's up, y'all? And welcome back to more Witch on the Holy Night. Yo, thank you to everyone who watched the first video. I never know if anyone's gonna watch, especially when I go on a long break, so thank you. Seeing all the comments that really made my fucking day, so thank you. Let's continue. The audio and even the quality of the video should be a lot better now, so thank you for being patient on that, and thank you for all the love. I appreciate it. I think we're at Sojiro's job, if I had to guess. Man has like 10,000 jobs. He's struggling out here. Rank with grease and heat, the kitchen was closed for the time being. The lunch rush had come and gone. But one last battle remained, dinner time. Only after the evening chaos could the kitchen crew remove their white armor and call it a day. That is very real. Worked in a couple restaurants and man, that shit gets intense. In the midst of the war zone was a lone newcomer.
これ着るんですか?
Aw man, suit up, kid. His voice was uneasy, betraying how new he was.
気持ちはわかる。俺もどうかと思うけど、店長の言うことだから、もう笑顔で乗り越えてくれ。これも商店街の明日のためなんだとよ。本気で申し訳ないんだが、雨も止んだし、なんとか行ってきてくれないか？無事帰ってきたら晩飯おごってやっから。
A shopping arcade. Alright. His bright orange coworker clasped his hands together as if to beg for forgiveness as he saddled him with his unreasonable task. Reading is hard. 10 years ago, Misaki City was a town of farm and woodland. But everything had changed. I just can't not think of Avatar when you see certain words. The front of the station was now lined with tall multi-story buildings, and the residential areas were similarly full of apartment complexes. The once rustic scenery around the station had long become a thing of the past. Yeah, we got a bit of this in the last part, just how everything's changed. Oh goodness, Shironi Nuzuka was the only place in the city that still contained vestiges of the old town, a pocket of the past inside an urban jungle. The road extended up a conspicuously high hill to an old residential district far from the hustle and bustle of the train station. Long ago, it had been considered unwise to build on high ground, so nobody lived above a certain elevation. Shiroi... Goddamn. Excuse me, Shiroi Nuzuka, sitting as it did atop a hill in the middle of town, was no exception to that convention and had no residences to speak of. The asphalt continued for some time, eventually giving way to a mountain road that was swallowed into the cover of trees. A lone vending machine stood to mark the boundary between town and beyond. A vending machine. Even the children knew that there was nothing beyond the new playground and development that so enthralled them. Well, that was not entirely true. Oh? There was nothing besides the haunted house. Is it their house? That's what I was thinking the whole time. Their house on the hill, or... Yeah, Aoko Alzaki traversed the long slope. Below her, she could see the whole of Misaki. The symmetrical town looked like a miniature set from this height. It would look like a painting if there had been a sea next to it, but unfortunately, Misaki City was very much landlocked. While it was overcast at the moment, the scene was quite breathtaking on clear evenings. The view was the one thing that made the arduous climb worthwhile, and today she had been denied even that. Damn.
雨の日は自転車も使えないし、1日に2回ぐらいバスでも通ってくれないもんかな、ほんと。
Gotta walk home in the rain. That always sucks. Aoko had been using this road to get to school for almost 2 years now, but the journey had never gotten easier.
あれ、鍵閉まったまま?
Oh?
アリス、まだ帰ってきてないんだ。
Yeah, we still haven't properly met Alice yet, but we heard her briefly, I think over the phone, or through a conversation she had with Aoko briefly, and she sounded cool. With her weary This might be a struggle, guys. Be patient with me. With a weary shrug, she put her hand on the rusty iron fence. Weary. Goodness. Quietly, the heavy gate swung open as if to welcome her home. There sits atop that hill a haunted house. Yup, it's her house. That is how the story much shared around town used to begin. So, not only do you have this perception about Aoko and her personality, this might even be the root of it. It's like, oh, she lives in that haunted house, and oh, she's so, you know, whatever. But fresh rumors about the house had sprung to life almost as fast as the town's modernization. Despite being dilapidated and abandoned for many years, lights can be seen inside the house at night. An angry murder of crows often gathers atop the hill before mysteriously vanishing. Children get lost in the fog, never to be seen again. Well, that's a rumor, Jesus. Late at night, a shrieking sound can be heard all the way to town. This particular piece of slander was the one Aoko wished to discredit the most. The final rumor was of an eye-catching luxury car that sometimes made its way up and down the hill. Whose car? Oh, it's maybe the car from the beginning, eh? The rumors spread and grew by the day. And while they grew, the house that everyone thought had rotted away was restored over the recent years. Ah, okay. Deep in a wood on top of a hill no one dared to approach. Like a ruin, shrouded from view even on the brightest of days, stood a relic out of time, a building from a fairy tale. I think that's how they described, or how the narrator figure described the story earlier, this fairy tale. The house. Was the Kuonji Mansion. Oh. Huh, okay, this is, okay. Everyone in town knew about the witch's house on the hill. But what about the Holy Night? It was an unabashedly haunted house where Aoko Aozaki resided for reasons known only to her. Oh, okay, so... Interesting. So this is not the childhood home, right? This is a Kuonji mansion, but recently, you know, it's been livable. Despite all the rumors, Aoko has chosen to live here. Needless to say, it was not really haunted. The Kuonji family home was a grand Western-style mansion with a long and storied history stretching all the way back to England. It kind of reminds me of the Tono mansion. It was too small to be a dormitory, yet too big to be called a house. The main building contained as many as 3 normal houses worth of rooms and was surrounded by a large, all-encompassing courtyard. The perimeter of the grounds was surrounded by a high iron fence covered in thorny vines. There was also an annex to the main building. Given such extravagance, it was no wonder that it inspired rumors. To the town residents, the mere existence of such a lavish and out-of-place mansion on top of the hill was a cause for suspicion. Rumors, lies, and slander were the prices to be paid for fame. With only 2 lodgers, it was hard to disagree with the perception that vampires must be living here. It's like, what, 2 teenage girls?
ま、私はともかく、アリスはそういうのやりかねないし。
Alice might be a vampire. Might be a dead apostle. CL version 2. She put her hand on the front door. It was a grand double door that would have paired well with a brass lock, and yet it was secured with little more than a simple keyhole. I love these little descriptions. Pushing it open with one hand, she entered the supposedly haunted house. And by the way, if vampires were not enough to scare you, ghosts were known to appear on certain nights. Ooh. Ghosts. I'm ready. I'm ready for the supernatural, mystical side of things. We have surprisingly not gotten yet, besides the very beginning. The incident with the cats. Much like the weather outside, the foyer was overcast with shades of gray. Perhaps by deliberate design, the architect had chosen not to include any lights in the entrance area. Some added spookiness. The ceiling was 2 floors high. The only light in the room came from the skylight. Okay. It was particularly gloomy on rainy days, yeah, I bet. On moonless nights, it was like the world itself ceased to be. Aoko decided the drawing room to the east would be a good place to rest, but knowing that she would not be able to relax until she changed clothes, she started up the stairs. The stairs curled up the wall to the 2nd floor hall. Bars. There was a 3rd floor attic as well, accessible from the far end of the hall. She had never set foot in there in the 2 years she had lived here, though. The Kuonji mansion was more or less divided into 2 wings, east and west. Aoko had been given the entire east wing, but 2 rooms were more than enough as far as she was concerned. Man, when your house has wings, yeah, that's a mansion. She had no desire to open a door that would trap you in a storybook world or lead to an attic that had only been used for storage these last 5 years. What a place to live, and her guitars. Does she play in this VN? I hope so. Aoko's room was at the end of the east wing's long corridor. She had elected for a smaller room for no other reason other than that she thought it would be easier to clean. It was furnished with a large bed, her beloved mahogany desk, a wardrobe and chest for her clothes, and 2 9-shelf bookcases. Wow. It's a nice room. That was the extent of what she'd brought from home. Ah, okay. Her entire life of 16 years reduced to this. This is what she brought from where she grew up. She'd also borrowed the next room down for her own purposes. Ooh, for mage stuff. I'm sorry, what? You got a watchtower from Alice? Also, who is Alice? Like, what do they do? Do you know you're a magician, Aoko? Like a legit magician? I need to know these things. But I can be patient. This is nice so far. And the music. The vibes. My goodness. She needed to see if the project she had been working on all night had borne fruit. I'm ready. The study next door served as proof of the life she had been living for the last year and how different that life was from the one she had lived before. It was not a room for the person she had been. Okay. It was a room for the person she would eventually become. A place of solitude that only she could enter. Or so she thought.
壊れてるどころか跡形もなく消え去ってる。やっぱ自己流アレンジはまだ早かったか。いいわよ。笑いなさいよ、コマドリ。
Robin. Oh. An actual Robin. The nosy neighbor that had intruded upon her sanctuary flew away. While not exceptionally talented, Aoko did not lack for effort and was not afraid to fail. One could have almost mistaken her approach for optimism. Also, was that a robin? I don't actually know. I am terrible with identifying birds. That could have been a pigeon for all I know. One could have almost mistaken her approach for optimism. Nice. She changed out of her uniform and returned to the 1st floor. Nice blue sweater. Blue, the best color. Down the stairs, she opened the door to the east wing into the corridor as dark as a cellar. The absence of windows meant it was pitch black without the lights on, so she flicked the switch and entered the nearby doorway. Sanny. The brand of the TV. Sanny. Avoiding the copyright. It had been her idea to update the drawing room. The walls were decorated with extravagant patterns, and around the room were large, majestic sofas and a luxurious Persian rug. Amidst it all was a 30-inch television that seemed completely out of place. About to connect a GameCube to that sucker. Get some cable TV on there. It stood looking over the other furniture like the emperor with no clothes. The mansion's owner would have rather done without it, but to a commoner like Aoko, it was an essential commodity. They had fought over its presence at first, but eventually came to an agreement and now mutually enjoyed this modern comfort. You gotta have a TV.
なんだ、人のことは言えないか。うちも案外時代錯誤な家だった。
Although this is the 80s, right? Gotta have a TV. Now, in a somewhat pleasant mood, she decided to brew some tea. She boiled some water in the kitchen, prepared a teapot, and made herself some black tea. I'm enjoying this build-up. This build-up is very nice. It's very pleasant. But we'll see. I mean, the intro of the VN itself was like, whoa, you know, so... very much looking forward to where this is all going. With a flop, she sank into the sofa. She took a sip of her tea, then another. Wow. Oh my goodness. The God rays. That is beautiful. The clouds. Like the detail of all those houses. Easily the most beautiful VN I've ever played. And we just started. Lulled by the ticking of the clock, she took a third sip as she pondered how to spend her afternoon. The sofa almost seemed to be inviting her, and she sunk even further into its comforting embrace. Alice! Aoko blearily opened her eyes as she lifted her body up from the cushions. So she was home. Oh. She looks like Ryogi. Kinda. In the face and the hair. This was no dream or delusion. At some point, a girl had sat down across from her. Or maybe, yeah, maybe she came when Aoko wasn't paying attention. Maybe Alice is just that good, that stealth. Which makes me more curious. Not the least bit surprised, she reached for her teacup. But the way she's dressed, like... I wouldn't assume something like Holy Church, but... I mean... You gotta have at least one of those in a Nasu VN, right? But the tea within had gone completely cold. Though I don't know why someone from the Holy Church would be just staying in a mansion, going to school. So, probably just her fashion sense, but let's see. She asked the question to the girl on the other side of the table. The girl answered without lifting her gaze. You know, scratch what I said about someone from the Holy Church going to school and acting like a teenager. I should know better after Tsukihime. When silent, she could have been mistaken for a beautiful doll. She looks so, looks so poised, so calm. She could be reading a pocket Bible, actually, now that I look at it. The girl sitting on the opposite sofa was reading an old book. She had delicate limbs and pale white skin. Not a hint of humanity emanated from her melancholic aura. Wow, not a hint of humanity. She had darker hair than Aoko, and her icy eyes were focused on the pages in front of her. Her clothes resembled that of a nun, yeah, but were actually her school uniform. Oh, okay. So... Okay, in Aoko's humble opinion, the gloominess suited her. She evoked something like out of a painting. There was something unreal about her, as if she were frozen in time. What a description. The white of her gently arched neck was so lovely that even Aoko found herself enchanted by it. What? The girl was one of the haunted house's 2 residents. Her name was Alice Kuonji. Okay, got it. Gotcha. Because I was wondering why this was called Kuonji Mansion and them describing the family like... Okay, because I at first assumed, oh, I guess they just took up residence because there was no other descendants or because the house was abandoned long ago by this family and that there was no one else. No, Alice is part of that family. That makes sense. And she was the same age as Aoko.
私どれくらい寝てた？
So how did these two become friends?
1時間と少し。ここで眠ると風邪ひくわよ。
She was out for an hour, got it. And then Alice came in. Alice answered indifferently, not that it bothered Alco, who was now used to it. She looked at the clock on the wall and saw that it was already 7. She had been asleep for 2 hours, whoa. The day had been a rough one for her, and she had slept little the night before, so it was no surprise that she had dozed off for as long as she had. Yeah, makes sense.
起こしてくれてもよかったのに。せっかくの紅茶が冷めちゃったじゃない。
My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why.
私が来た時はもう冷めてたわ。
Got out of bed. That was Alco this morning. Got out of
でしょうね。
bed. Oh.
行ってみただけよ。
Alco drank down the rest of the cold tea in one gulp. In the poorly heated Kuonji mansion, that was more than enough to clear her head and wake up.
こうなるとフォートナム&メイソンも何もないわね。おかえりアリス。玉の贅沢もあんた抜きじゃ閉まらないってことかしら。今日は薬日か天中殺か。ちょっと早いけどお参りってのも十分ありかもね。
A temple visit. Alco shrugged her shoulders as if resigning herself to her fate.
それで何があったの？
After 2 years together, they knew each other quite well. Alco had one way of asking questions, and Alice had another. Alice asked without raising her head, and Alco gave her the details.
まず謝らなくちゃいけない。昨日徹夜で完成させた例のあれ、意味がなくなっちゃったのよ。ちょっと目を離した隙に沸騰しすぎて壊れちゃったみたい。そうならないよう循環のコードを 2,3 本外したり縫合したりしたんだけど。
Circulation codes. That's a term I haven't seen before. Alco tried to laugh it off as if it was someone else's problem.
どういうこと？
今朝休養が入って学校に呼び出し受けたの。そこで転入生の世話を押し付けられて一日が無残にも消費されちゃって、帰ってきたら跡形もなく消えてました。怒る？アリス。
別に青子の器物破損にいちいち怒っていたら一生分の口論をすることになるでしょ。
Well.
代用品はあるからまた一から始めればいいわ。それより怒ってるのはあなたの方じゃないの
Incredible. Alice was very much on point today. It was true that, despite outward appearances, Alco was seething with frustration. That aside.
この転入生っていうのがひどくずれててね。すごい山奥で暮らしてたらしくて、こっちの常識が通じないんだから。三問以下って言葉があるけど、あれって本当のことなのね、アリス。
Alice raised her head in response to hearing her name, but Alco kept going on before she could get a word in edgewise. Alco, after all, expected no sympathy in the first place.
初対面から尺に触るやつだったけど、教室を案内した時なんか失神しそうになったわ。
Oh yeah, Sojiro almost dying. That was probably the most defining moment as far as like his lack of... It's a very unique, like naivety to him. Like that moment was like, whoa, you know?
そいつ、教室で教師と1対1で授業を受けるもんだと思ってたらしいの。それはそれでまだ流せる。許容範囲よ、あの程度の冗談は。で、私が簡潔かつ丁寧に教室の何たるかを教えた後で、そいつなんて言ったと思う？それで青崎、他の教室は何に使うんだ？ですって。教室に他も何もないでしょ。
He doesn't know. He's new.
なんていうか、そいつは少しでも説明を怠るとそのままで納得しちゃうのよ。 何も疑問に思わないというか、想像力が欠如してるっていうか、想像することに慣れてないっていうか。
He definitely takes everything at face value, but he has very good insight too. It's cool.
まあ一度言ったことはちゃんと分かってるっぽいからバカってわけじゃないんだけど。
あなたが人を批評するのは珍しいわね。そういうダメな人気にするたちだったの？
Yeah, there's something else.
みじんたりとも気にしないわよ。
Uh-huh.
けど明日からどんな間違いをしでかすのかちょっと心配なだけ。
Sure, sure. What she was really worried about was having to clean up that mess, if and when it happened. Fair. That had to be it. If not, it would mean she had no real idea why she could not get him out of his head. Or out of her head. That might be a typo.
とにかく変なやつなの。案外アリスと気が合うかも。
It's interesting to see, it really shows Aoko not really understanding her own emotions. I'm sure, you know, we'll work through that through the VN, but it's, as the one reading the VN, and I'm sure everyone who read this, it's like, yeah, okay, tsundere.
三問一回はいい言葉ね。
It doesn't, but man, like the fact that he's here now, it's literally a whole new world. But from her eyes, it was clear that the question of whether they would get along was irrelevant, given that they would never meet in the first place. Also, I didn't properly read the first part. He was a weirdo. You two would probably hit it off great. Aoko gave a non-committal response.
ところでアリス、さっきから何読んでるの？
霊的進化論の二次創作。スピリチュアルダイアリのまがいもの。
Interesting.
ああ、スウェーデンボリー。そんなの今更読んでも仕方ないんじゃない？
新書なら退屈だけど、これは偽書だから。彼の欠点と長所を劇的に褒め上げている。よくできた冒険小説のようよ。立ちはだかる秘密組織の名前がカントとか気が利いているわ。
I don't know anything of what they're talking about. I haven't heard any of these things before. Which is the most Nasu thing ever.
筆跡はあなたのおじいさんのものだけど。
Oh.
へえ、あの人そういう趣味まであったんだ。割とユーモアがあったのね。惜しい人を亡くしたわ。
I really want to know more about Grandpa. But also, I want to correct myself. Because I realized later, it wasn't Aoko and Zelrech that had a connection. It was Arkwade and Zelrech. That's what it was. But yes, really want to know more about Grandpa. Aoko seemed nostalgic over her now deceased grandfather. Okay, so confirmed Grandpa's dead, which makes sense, given where she is now. But really want to know more about him.
あなたのおじいさん、夏に頼りをくれたけど。
Whoa. Wait a second. Hold on. Is the theory actually correct? Is my whack job second magic theory correct?
よしてよ。死んだものと考えたいのに。
Why can't dead stay dead? It could be his own unique magecraft or something, because like Aoko brought the dead cat directly to him as if she knew that he could like save it or bring it back to life, right? But in that particular case, the grandpa said, you know, some things can't be reversed or some things can't be reverted, or, you know, that particular death, right? So maybe he was able to prevent his own, or not prevent, but rather like, I don't know. Maybe something akin to a dead apostle or something beyond that. Maybe she inherits whatever her true magic is. Maybe it has something to do with that. Inherits it from him. I don't know. But wow. That's interesting. So he's not staying dead. Just contacted her last summer. What the hell? Aoko sighed and laid back on the sofa. The soft cushions caved in under her weight.
話は戻るけど。
Alice shot a glance at Aoko. Ooh. She's looking up finally. Her body, buried in the sofa, remained as still as a corpse. It was clear Aoko had tuned out of the conversation. Alice silently chastised her with a look. The more she thought about it, the less important the events of the day seemed to become. If she just ignored Alice, the conversation would end there. They would eventually get up and leave today's mistake unresolved for another day. However, that's not the kind of person Aoko Aozaki was.
いいわよ。何？
Yeah, I would hope not. You can't just ignore her. She asked, still lying down.
今日できなかったのは少し痛いわね。
Oh.
だから反省してるって。学校優先は一人前になってからでしょ。
Okay, so she's training, she's practicing, yeah. So she's been workshopping, Alice has been providing materials, kind of, I guess, funding her research. She's trying to become a full-fledged magus.
ならいいけど。
Baby Aoko. The coldness in her voice made Aoko gnash her teeth. She knew what Alice wanted to say. She knew better than anyone. The veneer she wore for school was different than the way she lived at home. Okay. Let's pull back the curtain. Let's see. I've been waiting for this. While it could be called hiding in plain sight, Alice thought it was silly. And what the silence told her was...
覚悟を決めろって言いたいのよね、あんたは。
Oh, so choose. Don't try to live both lives, maybe? Today's failure was not a colossal one. She just happened to upset the delicate balance between her home and school lives, chasing one at the expense of the other. And yet that careless mistake was a clear sign of Aoko's lack of commitment.
アリスは関係ない。これは私が私で決めなくちゃいけないこと。
She had only known for sure for the last year and a half, but she'd had a hunch for as long as she could remember. Make the choice, and the day will come. Whoa. It was little wonder that her morals and conscience had been stripped away. Have they, though? Aoko pushed herself back up. She was met by Alice's cold beauty and wordless gaze. I mean, that's not atypical for a mage, abandoning morals and conscience for the sake of their research and reaching the root or whatever their goal is, but I don't think that's Aoko. She probably convinces herself that's the case, but let's see.
OK、アリス。来週中に決着をつけよう。それでいいんでしょ？
Oh.
青子がいいなら。
So it's something specific. Make the commitment and the day will come. So Aoko's saying she's finally going to choose and they're going to do whatever this is. Okay. Aoko could not help but shake her head, feeling like she was hearing something similar for the second time that day. Even in the comfort of her own, she couldn't banish thoughts of that country boy from her mind.
じゃあ下準備はよろしくね。私まだできないし。
Sojiro almost falling out of the window is like Shiro doing high jumps. She's like, my god, the way he almost died.
場所は例の公園でいい？
妥当な線ね。あ、でももう一軒の方は？
The ley line.
そっちの方が急務じゃない？
Another thing.
時と場合、森に変化があれば教えるわ。
After that brief exchange, Alice returned her attention to the book on her lap. Shop talk was over. Alright, now they could return to their normal relationship as roommates. Aoko grabbed a remote and turned on the TV. Since Alice was busy reading, Aoko decided to tune in to a variety show that had already started. Okay, that was cool. We finally got some mage stuff. But I like their relationship. You know, Alice comes off as pretty cold, and I don't doubt that she is. She seems to be the only one left of her family, which is crazy. She seems cool, though. And at the very least, she seems like she cares about Aoko. Alice started to speak, but suddenly cut herself off. One of her delicate hands raised to her mouth. She would always cut herself off the second she realized she was about to say something trivial. Oh. Come on, Alice. Sometimes her self-restraint would hit too late, and she would make a gesture like the one she was making now. Like pushing down her own humanity. But why? It occurred to Aoko that the ah sound her cute little roommate made just now was different than the wah she blurted in times past.
Nani?
That's cute. Aoko turned down the volume on the TV, her intense eyes lit up like those of a mischievous cat.
どうということはないんだけど。
ないんだけど
Oh my god, Aoko. That face. Look at that face. I love it. Alice looked away bashfully, not knowing if she should bring it up or not. It was times like these that her expression carried a real warmth and surprising charm. Yeah, this is cool. Alright. If he could see her in this moment, Alice's father would have to admit that her name suited her perfectly.
今日帰ってくるときおかしなものを見て誰かに話そうと思っていたんだけど。
Alright, what's up? Aoko nodded, beckoning her to continue.
つまらない。本当に意味のないことよ。
I love Aoko's interest. Her just fully appreciating her Alice like slipping and her self-restraint being late.
けどどう考えてもそんなことをする理由がわからない。青子、人間ぐらいの大きな猫がひょこひょこ出前をする理由ってわかる？
She saw like a mascot, like delivery person. What? That's not the reaction I expected. She thinks she's fucking with her. For a second, Aoko thought Alice was trying and failing miserably to make a joke again. One would think that about anyone, really. She seemed completely serious. Oh, she is dead serious. Even if Alice's sense of humor fell flat for Aoko, this story already sounded more fanciful than Alice's usual attempt at jokes. Aoko concluded that her roommate was talking about something she had actually seen.
その話には2つぐらい信じがたい部分があるけど、1つずつ論破していい？
I gotta hear these jokes Alice tells.
いいの。私もからくりぐらいは思いつくから。ただ理由がわからないから聞いてるの。わざわざ精巧な猫のぬいぐるみを着て出前のてんやものを届けに行くことってそんなに簡単かしらね。
Most likely.
難易度以前にそれをやる人間の常識性を疑うけどね、私は。
A job is a job. Alice nodded sensitively at her words.
まあ世の中いろいろあるから、私たちみたいなのもいれば下界から遮断された山奥で暮らしていたやつまで10人十色よ。
And how?
私だったら見かけたら声かけて理由を尋ねただろうけど。
That's funny, just stop them on their commute like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing with yourself? Alice's gaze drifted at that.
暮れゆく住宅街にさまよう出前猫か。背景が夕焼けだったらファンタジーだったでしょうに。
A fairy tale.
で、今日の夕飯どうする？せっかく話が出たし、私らもてんやものにしようか。
Aoko loved getting takeout, and her face glowed as she spoke. Oh my goodness, she's so happy. They had no hard rules for dinner, but if one of them was in the mood to cook, they made it a point to make enough for two. At the very worst, this meant entire weeks without dinner, but the two of them agreed that this was the system that worked best for them. Whether they found cooking to be too much effort or simply liked ordering out, nights like this one were a common occurrence, much to the chagrin of the restaurants of Misaki Town. Having to deliver all the way out here. Delivering to the mansion meant coming all the way up to the top of this hill, the source of their disgruntlement. Yup.
時間は8時前。ギリギリセーフね。私今月がいいな。あそこの月見そば最近ご無沙汰だったし。
I'll have to look that up. The hungry student council president laid out a stack of takeout menus like she might fan a deck of cards and excitedly scanned for anything that stood out. Oh, the days before, Uber Eats and DoorDash and all that. You had to have the menus call the restaurant. Alice casually responded without sparing so much as a glance.
悪いけど、私夕飯済んでる。
Oh, damn, Alice. Oh no. Oh no, the black and white. Oh shit. With those words, Alco froze. All deliveries required a minimum of 2 items, so she was out of luck without an accomplice. I mean, you could, but even if it were leftovers, it would still just be enough for one person, so I mean, someone could take it for lunch. Damn. Cruel society had decided it couldn't be bothered to deliver to a princess who only ordered a single serving of food. Oh my god, the arrow pointing to their mansion. Oh my gosh, it's so far. Thank you, Arrow. I see why everyone puts those in their YouTube thumbnails. Maybe I'll do it for this video, so everyone knows. Incidentally, to counteract orders from the Hilltop Mansion, the restaurants had declared the minimum number of orders will be 3 starting next year. Damn. So they're just trying to, like, they know there's only 2 of them, so they're trying to just snuff them out. Either pay us enough for 3, which we know you won't because there's only 2 of you. Damn. Alco and Alice were still in the dark to this fiendish change in direction. Oh, they didn't know yet. Traitor. They didn't know that it's gonna change next year. Which is, I kind of like this narrator pointing out things like that they don't know. Makes me more curious about the narrator. Damn, Alice.
帰宅部、学校までバス徒歩込みで片道20分のあんたがなんで5時以降に帰ってくんのか考えるべきだったわ。
She should have known. Also, this song. Have not heard this one yet. I don't think. Nice. Unfortunately for Alco, she had been too out of it to even remember that she was the one who'd fallen asleep.
ああ、ひどい女。そういう時は残された一人のためにお土産買ってくるのが暗黙の了解だったのに。私だってこの前の外食の時はアリスの分も買ってきたじゃない。
It was unknown how serious Alco was being, but she was visibly angry. Yeah, you know, it is nice, you know, especially if that's like what they do, and that she just didn't bring anything for Alco. Damn. I mean, that shit gets expensive, man. Eating out. I don't know. This is the 80s. I don't know. Maybe it was more affordable. But my man Sojiro has like 3 or 4 jobs. Or I think he said even more. Like, what the hell, man? And they're out here in a mansion just ordering takeout every night. Sounds great. She had already woken up angry that morning, and from the time she was called into school until now, she had consumed nothing but tea. It was a small miracle that her stomach was not growling. She knew it was her own fault, but she persisted, wanting to get revenge on Alice for scolding her earlier. Damn, she only had tea the entire day?
この前ってあれのこと？あなたが都心に出向いた時、夕食にお寿司を食べてきたのに、お土産はなぜかコンビニエンスストアのビニール袋だったって話？
Yeah. Damn. Okay, Alco had it coming. Oh shit. Alco would kick the hornet's nest.
何よ、買ってこないよりはマシでしょ。
Damn.
真実は時に隠蔽すべきね。
Oh shit. Alice's icy gaze pierced right through her. That is so good. Oh my god. This CG right here looks something out of like Hollow Ataraxia. This is so good. Aoko had certainly crossed the line by going on and on about how the sushi circled around the restaurant while Alice ate her convenience store meal. Oh my god, Aoko bragged about it too? Oh, Alice was pissed. She was listening to that shit, plotting like, oh, you motherfucker. Waiting for this night, going to eat, not bringing Aoko anything. And then Aoko's like, it's better than nothing, right? It's like, sometimes saying nothing is better. Like, oh, shit. But new things fascinated her, and she couldn't contain her curiosity towards the conveyor belt sushi shops that started popping up at the time. They were nothing short of miraculous. Oh, okay. So they just started popping up. I really want to go to one of those. Apparently there's one not far from here. Some conveyor belt sushi. I hope it's good though, so. This particular place I'm thinking of. Even honesty can be a sin given the right circumstances. Yeah, you don't want to like... Yeah, Aoko, you fucked up. You fucked up.
わかった。わかりました。じゃあ今回のは前のと帳消しってことでいいわね。
I'd say you're even now. Alice went back to her book without so much as recognizing the question. Damn. Just twist the knife. The fact that she did not confirm it made Aoko anxious.
仕方ない。今日は薬日だし、おとなしく台所に立って料理の腕を磨くとしましょう。
Damn, like imagine that wasn't enough to get even. Alice is like, oh, you wait. Oh my goodness. He's going so hard. Do not fuck with Alice. Do not. She stood up, announcing her intent to no one in particular.
あ、聞き忘れてた。アリス、どこで夕食済ませたの？
Alice's hand froze on her current page. She suddenly shut the book she was reading and stood up as if at wit's end. She walked across the drawing room with her book in hand. When she reached the door, she stopped and turned toward Aoko.
聞きたい。
まあ、なんとなく。
Aoko nodded timidly, cowed by Alice's sudden vigor. Oh my goodness. She's gonna be like the 5-star best restaurant ever. What is she gonna say? Alice continued in her matter-of-fact way.
その猫が余ったメニューをくれたのよ。
Oh, wow. What? You got free food from the cat? So she did talk to that delivery person. And with that brief response, she left the room. Or maybe that was an Alice joke. Hey, chapter 1 achievement. It doesn't have to be normal. Whoa. So yeah, chapter 1 done. Hell yeah. Little happening of last night. Yeah, let's go ahead and save. You can check out that archive thing too. Oh, so we have like proper intermissions between things here. Previewing the next chapter. Let's see this archive. What is this? What? I think I looked at this briefly whenever I saw that there was a main menu when you load back into the game. It takes you to the proper main menu. And first we got this. So I guess, oh yeah, we can just return to any point. Wow, this is quite detailed. So we don't need a save, I guess, to go to any particular points. We can just read any, like, subset of a chapter, and it's like on Aoko's bookshelf. I like that. That's cool. Put back. Chapter 1.5. Okay, so we want to... I guess that's where we're going next. So not chapter 2, chapter 1.5. Interesting. I wonder why they structured it like that. Maybe we're going to jump to Sojiro during a similar time of when Aoko was going home. Maybe we'll see what he was up to, his jobs and stuff. We only saw a small glimpse of that. But let's see. This is great. Oh man, that whole interaction between Aoko and Alice was amazing. We'll probably be missing moments like that when shit gets really crazy, especially that encounter Aoko had in the last episode. So looks like we are switching to Sojiro.
慣れれば割と住みやすいとは思う。
Makes sense why this would be 1.5 if we're just changing perspectives. It's kind of like Stay Night. It'll probably just switch back to Alco, but who knows? Maybe back and forth. Sojiro sighed listlessly. He looked down at the winter schoolyard below, lost in thought. At least until their paths cross again, these two, which I'm sure them meeting was a moment of destiny. Sojiro knew that. Aoko doesn't really know what to think. She's still denying, she still doesn't understand why Sojiro is so stuck in her head. December was written on the corner of the chalkboard. He could not believe 10 days had already passed since he transferred to the school. Oh, okay, gotcha. So it's been a bit over a week since he transferred. The last vestiges of autumn had faded with the change of the month. Trees were all but barren, and the ground below them a mat of fallen leaves. Fourth period was classics. An elderly teacher stood at the lectern and rambled on. While he had finally gotten used to the classroom, he still had a long way to go to get up to speed in his classes. Lacking even the basic understanding most students learn in their early scholastic life, it was a battle for Sojiro to keep up. It's gotta be tough for coming from where he's from. Even if he was unable to grasp all of the content right away, he at least tried to memorize everything in the hope that he could make use of it down the road. That's smart. Which is why losing himself in his thoughts was about the last thing he should have been doing. He would normally chastise himself for daydreaming, but was he thinking of her? Troublingly, he was unable to concentrate in class today. Sojiro could not place the source of his lack of concentration. It could not have been the winter in the city. It was much milder than in the mountains. Neither was his part-time job particularly tiring. Well, that's good. He was not any more physically fatigued than the average student, so that could not be it either. Others might conclude that it was because the courses were boring, but that seemed off the mark too. Sojiro did not share his classmates' opinions about their classes. On the contrary, he rather enjoyed his class time. No, his frame of mind was not to blame either, so it's gotta be Aoko. Trying to figure out what was wrong only made him more depressed.
いけない。こんなんじゃ気が散る一方だ。
So this is interesting. He scolded himself and turned his attention to the chalkboard. The rhythmic ticks of the chalk were sending him into a slumber, but he somehow managed to resist their lullaby. And yet, he was still unable to focus on the class. Sojiro reflected silently, as was his custom, and sighed inwardly. Deep down, he knew the real source of his agitation. Oh? The events of the previous night were the only thing it could be. Whoa. Wait, what happened? Don't leave us hanging like that. We gotta know. With the chime to signal the end of class, the teacher bowed and exited into the hallway. To see him off, the 30 or so students all stood up from their desks. The clock, which had seemed to slow dramatically around 11:30, now struck noon. The tension seemed to fade from the room all at once. Look at this person on the right, they're so happy. Like, yeah. The release from a difficult lesson was the start of lunchtime, the highlight of school life. Ah, lunchtime. Misaki High's cafeteria was not particularly known for its quality of food. Neither were ours here. Complaints that the quality was below that of a private school went unheeded, and the same unique flavors appeared on the menu each and every day. Quote-unquote unique. Private school prices coupled with subpar quality led the majority of students to opt for boxed lunches instead. Bento. Sojiro's Class 2C was no exception. The boys muscled as many as 10 desks into what resembled a long dining table. Damn, they let them do that? That's cool. Conversely, the girls divided themselves into smaller tables of 2 or 3 desks with practiced ease and started chatting within their cliques. Not a single student wasted even a second of their precious lunchtime. Oh yeah, you gotta enjoy it. Where both sides differed in method, they shared a common goal. Sojiro was struck dumb by the efficiency of the transformation. Even after 10 days, he was unable to keep pace with the rest of the class and remained seated where he had sat during the previous period. The social... oh man.
Oi! こっち来いよ、しずき!
The voice came from the large makeshift dining table near the window. Oh shit, it was the boy in front of him. The happy kid like, hey! Oh my god, this is his Arihiko. This is Sojiro's Arihiko. Oh shit. Hosuke Kinomi was beckoning him over while leaning back in his chair in a way that looked like he could fall backward at any second. He was regularly shot down by others in the class for being lazy and crass, but his earnest nature kept him from getting on anyone's bad side. Alright. Though something could be said for not being so forthcoming all the time, too. I just love his expression, like, dude's here. His unbuttoned shirt, the loose tie. And he's also a redhead like Arihiko. Hell yeah.
飯にしようぜ、飯。俺さ、昨日店の残り物もらいすぎたんだよ。春巻きだよ、春巻き。それを見た親父がさ、もらったもんは残すなってうるさくてさ。食いもん、春巻きしかねえんだわ。
God, that makes me want some pork spring rolls, some grilled pork spring rolls. I'm hungry. It seemed his endgame was to find someone who might take pity on him and trade him for something better. What? That is sad. The two of them worked at the same restaurant. Okay, coworker. So he was one of the few people Sojiro knew before starting school. Got it. He was also the reason Sojiro was able to learn the true meaning of the phrase, can't live with them, can't live without them.
お、いいな。しずきも来いよ。今日は待ちに待った缶詰祭りをすっからさ。
What canned food festival? Yo, our boy, what's his name again? Our boy's gonna show him the ways of socialness. Wait, hold on. Yeah, Hosuke Kinomi. Kinomi, okay. Kinomi.
ついに結婚するのかよ。誰か冷静になった方がいいんじゃないのか実際。バカ、すげえ楽しいってきっと。そりゃパチモン臭いけど、カニ缶とか食い放題なんだぜ。サバ缶じゃなくて。
Canned seafood.
マジやったー、俺も参加する。コンビーフは一人一個、それとも早い者勝ち？
Look, I eat a lot of canned chicken, which, you know, may not be good. But I don't know, something about canned seafood just sounds, I don't know.
お前な、一人で何個も食えるもんじゃねえぞ、あれ。うまいのは最初の一個だけだって。しずきたちが来るなら、ノルマは一人7個に下がるのか。助かるな。
Are they performing a heist on canned crab? Like, what is going on?
ところで木の実の弁当の中身なんか缶詰より硬そうじゃね？
Leftover spring rolls. The boys usually pass the time by making fun of each other's lunches, but today they were united against a common foe. A pyramid of countless cans stood in the middle of the table. Oh, they're here, okay. They had all been taken from the pantry of a certain student's house. Interesting, and the expiration dates on them had all been scribbled out with a marker. Oh no.
よし、やろうども。各自毎缶切りの用意はいいな。
Expired canned seafood? Oh lord.
食べるも地獄、残すも地獄。我ら5次元目の授業はないものと恐れぬ修羅となり、鉄の悪魔どもを平らげん。
Metal demons.
食材は下町の何でも紹介、マーケット中山からの提供です。
Shoutouts.
ヒュー、バカも休み休み、イエーイ。
Yeah. Let's go. The boys united as one and hoisted their can openers. Dude. Sojiro's reaction to this bullshit. He's like, oh, what the? Oh.
ほら、しずきも食べようぜ。缶切りならまだあるからさ。
Yeah, did I read that last line? Hold on. United as one and hoisted their can openers into the air.
いや、君らの弁当の毒味はごめんだって昨日言ったはずだ。それに、その缶詰半分以上、賞味期限切れてるだろ。
Uh-huh.
なんだよ、釣れねえな。
Quite an inexplicably excited group of guys. The real motivation seemed to be to spread the pain. It's some real, yep, it's the dumb shit you do as a young guy. But moved by their energy and conceding defeat, Sojiro got up from his seat and joined them. Yeah, you gotta be stupid while you're young. And before he could...
じゃあ私たちが釣り上げようかな。しずきくん、あんなの放っておいて一緒にどう？
Oh shit. Another interested party joined the fray. A girl with short but stylish hair had called out to him. She had also tried to get Sojiro to join the track and field club several days earlier. Okay.
いや、そっちも遠慮したいな、できれば。
Oh wow. Dude, he's so upfront. He answered with a troubled look on his face. On their table was nothing but a pile of fruit Sojiro had never seen before. It's just fruit.
なんで？パパイヤとか嫌い？
Papayas.
マンゴーもあるし、ヤシの実だってあるし、内緒だけど、夕張メロンもあるんだから。
I'd go for mango. The members of the fruit group, pumped their fists in unison at that last delicacy. Yubari melon.
待て、なんだヤシの実って。あれ食えるもんなの？
Also, y'all brought coconuts to school? What the hell?
あ、マンゴー余ったら回してほしいな。バカ、肉食え肉。そんなんだから貧弱な体してんだぞ、お前ら。
Yeah. Meat agenda. Sojiro couldn't keep track of all the voices flying across the room.
わかるのは、どっちも破滅的だってことだけだ。
He's so troubled. She's like, fuck. Why can't lunch be normal? For him, of all people, to say that. Or to maybe think that, right? That being said, he found it difficult to refuse them outright. His tendency to accept others' goodwill at face value occasionally left him frozen with indecision. Not accustomed to regular human interaction, he was unable to judge when it was or was not appropriate to turn someone down. Yeah, that's why he looks so troubled. He's just like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't, I don't want to. Someone tapped the lost little lamb on the shoulder.
ほっとけほっとけ。いちいちここのバカどもに付き合ってちゃ。
True.
人生台無しだ。適当に流しとけばいいんだよ。
That is genuinely good advice. You'll mess up your whole life doing that shit. Yeah, probably.
ほら、お前らもな、善良な羊を悪の園に引きずり込んでんじゃねえよ。
An inappropriately loud voice echoed throughout the classroom from behind him.
副会長、
Vice President, okay. Second to Aoko. Sojiro turned around to see a boy about a head taller than him. Wait, is Sojiro gonna join the student council? His long hair, while unkempt, had been brushed back, giving it an appealingly windswept look. His attractive features belied the contempt for the classroom his eyes carried. Unlike the perpetually dopey-looking Sojiro, damn. Okay, narrator. He was an extremely attractive boy, capable of captivating anyone who so much as glanced at him. Unbiased narrator. In most cases, such a boy's presence would be met with awe and respect. However...
なんだよ、副会長様のお出ましかよ。
てめえらのバカ顔にはコリゴリだって、学食に陣取ってたんじゃなかったのかよ。
Oh, damn.
へへへ。ここは見ての通り、ボンクラどもが集う貧民街でございますよ。王子はほら、
The babes.
A 組の綺麗どころとカフェでお茶でもしてればいいじゃない。
Damn, he's lost. He's no longer a man of the people.
またしずき呼びに来たのかよ。青子女子といい、飛び丸殿下といい。しずき、なんかやばいことしちゃったのか。
First Lady Aoko.
しずきくんは高速違反しないじゃん。ちょっとそれ以外のルール破るだけで。
I think so. I think this kid, the vice president, is gonna get Sojiro in the student council, and that's gonna shortcut Sojiro and Aoko interacting again. Because otherwise, like, yeah, why would they? It's been 10 days. Aoko is telling herself she wants nothing to do with him, even though she cannot get him out of her head. Sojiro is like, I don't know why I'm so distracted, which is probably Aoko, right? So we just need some reason for them to interact again. I think this is going to be it.
ってことはやっぱり築地くん青崎に振られてからそっちに走ったって本当だったのね。
Yo, what the hell? They continued to give him a hard time. I feel bad. It's like, damn, what did he do? Just because he's vice president? They're like, oh, your highness. Sojiro could not help but feel sorry for him. Yeah, it's like, damn. He doesn't seem that bad. The class vice president, on the other hand, showed absolutely no reaction whatsoever. He glared at them with a bored look and simply raised his voice. Probably because he acts so detached from everyone.
相変わらず無駄に元気があって結構じゃねえかてめえら。
Oh shit.
そんなに活力たぎってんなら冬季特別清掃班にだって参加できるよな。おい、今んところ自主的に申し出てるのは全校で1人しかいねえんだ。西全員が参加すりゃ俺も青崎も肩の荷が下りるってもんなんだがよ。
Like, yeah, you should want to like clean and like help out, but realistically, there has to be some kind of like incentive, right? Maybe like a bonus assignment grade if you participate. The menacing growl in his voice contrasted greatly with the boy's well-constructed looks. Both Team Canned and Team Fruit's words, the fucking team names, were doused like a fire being smothered. Yeah, this dude means business. He ain't taking shit from no one. This was partly due to their fear of the boy, but mostly due to their fear of the special winter cleaning team. Yes, the special winter cleaning team. Joining meant spending part of your winter break cleaning up the old school building and mountainous rear courtyard that had been neglected by the previous 2 student councils. Damn, you gotta spend your winter break doing that? Ooh, that's tough. It was a form of legalized torture that could potentially ruin 3 whole days of your winter break. 3 days? Golly. And forget about any compensation in the form of extra credits. That's what I'm saying. Like, why not? No, it was pointless volunteer work for a student council project. It was practically a miracle that they had found even a single volunteer. Wait, was it Sojiro? Was Sojiro the only volunteer?
いや、僕らちょっと体弱いんで、スミッチョで缶詰食べてますね。
Sojiro was definitely the only volunteer.
私たちも貧血気味でこうやって果物食べてないと死んじゃうっていうか、冬休みはもう予定いっぱいっていうか。
Will die. What? Do those fruits have iron in them? All of the students but one scuffled away.
よし、昼食はやっぱり静かにやらねえとな。1年坊主の教室より2年の教室の方がやかましいなんて苦情。いい加減にしやがれよ、アホども。
Zashu. Someone someone make this dude's hair blonde and give him Gilgamesh's outfit, right? Zashu. The mob meekly scurried away. Sojiro turned to join them, but as he did...
お前はこっちだ、宗次郎。ちょい顔貸せ。
Oh shit. He ain't giving him a choice. The hand on his shoulder held him in place.
だよ、生徒会応募。人んちのテーブルマナーまで指図してほしくねえよな。
Kinomi cursed him under his breath to his friends the second the vice president turned to go. Man, not Kinomi. We gotta hang out with Kinomi.
はあ？上等じゃねえか、木の実。いいぜ。お前が記念すべき2人目だ。冬休み、首を洗って待ってやがれ。
Damn. The vice president must have heard everything Kinomi said because he gave a thumbs up before figuratively jabbing it in his eye.
はあ？何言ってんですか、あいつ。あれ自主的なイベントじゃん。いくら副会長だって強制はできないですよね。
The problem child of Class C laughed merrily.
そりゃ昨日までの話だ。会長の提案が学校側に受理されてな。本日付で生徒会役員は強制力のある推薦権をもらえたんだよ。
Alco proposed that? Nice.
特に会長と副会長の推薦は絶対だ。拒否した場合、学校側はともかく青崎が何するか俺 俺には止められねえから、そのつもりでな。
You don't want that. You do not want that.
げえ、それ事実上の死刑宣告じゃ。生徒会マジ応募。
Something like that. Also, man, that sucks. They can just choose anyone they want. Like, fuck you. You're doing it. Damn. Kinomi's terrified shrieking continued behind them as the vice president and Sojiro left the classroom. Aozaki's wrath. But of course, Sojiro was the lone volunteer.
お前も大変だな、宗十郎。
あんたも割と暇なんだな、副会長。
Hey. Two entered the empty student council room. Misaki High's student council had the use of two rooms. One was a large office specifically made for the student council. The second was an archive room, once used as a preparatory office for math courses. As the latter of the two, the walls were lined with densely packed shelves, making an already cramped room seem even more confined. For this reason, it served more as a private refuge to the student council. Yeah, it would be cool to study in here. Or just do homework, or just get away. The two students sat across from one another. Tobimaru Tsukiji. Oh, they mentioned him before. I don't know why I called him the second Hokage. That's Tobi Rama. Tobimaru, okay. Tsukiji. Tobimaru. He was the son of the chairman of Misaki High School. Oh wow, okay. And the vice president of its school council. So he was poised to excel here. Like Sojiro, he was in his second year and first met the transfer student a week earlier when the task of looking after him was dumped onto the student council. Makes sense.
副会長はやめろって。クソったれな話だが、俺は所詮会長の犬だからな。
I can imagine. As self-deprecating as his words were, he hardly seemed dissatisfied with the arrangement. He took a snack from his pocket and grimaced at it before taking a bite. He grimaced at his snack. The 100-calorie energy bar sacrificed flavor for efficacy, but somehow not enough to prevent him gnawing on it like a piece of jerky. This man is efficient.
そうか。でも犬は良くないな、飛び丸。
No, it's not. Num num num. Sojiro sat in the chair with a concerned look on his face.
あ？犬がどうしたって？
犬は良くないって言った。例えが違う気がするし、何より怖いぞ、あれ。
なんだよ。山奥育ちのくせに犬が怖いのか？
そりゃ大抵の生き物は怖いけど、犬は別格だ。
Afraid of most animals, huh?
徒党を組んだ野犬ほど始末に追えないものはない。
Oh, I bet.
足の速さも脅威だけど、何より執念深すぎる。坂だろうと追いかけてくるし、最後の一匹になるまで引かないんだぞ。
Dude, I'm scared of just running into like one big dog. Like if there's just a random big dog just out around, which has happened sometimes, I'm like, fuck. Dude, please do not chase me and attack me. Like, holy shit. That shit is scary. Let alone a pack? Hell no. Sojiro opened his lunch as he spoke. Inside the bright green cloth, 3 beautifully made triangular rice balls. Of course, he has like a pristine, precise lunch.
ショックだ。
ショックって何が？
The way he's looking at his lunch, yeah.
いや、そんなこの世のものとは思えない握り飯を見たのは初めてだ。
Or wait, that's Sojiro's
絶
lunch.
句しちまった。
Oh, Sojiro opened his lunch. I don't know why I thought it was Tsukichi. My bad.
それどっちなんだ？
Maybe I just wanted to roast Tsukiji. But yeah. Also, I gotta get this cat off my desk. Ember.
褒めてるんだよ、バカ。
Keep shaking it. Shaking the desk. Wait, did I? Okay, I was waiting. It seemed like auto scroll was on. I'm like, I'm not clicking advance. trying to compliment you, idiot. So Sojiro's lunch. Alright. Some rice balls. Sojiro was always confounded by phrasing that could be interpreted in multiple ways. Euphemisms and subtle sarcasm were often lost on him. That makes sense. It was only on rare occasions like this one that he chose to confirm what was being said. Tobimaru had come to suspect that Sojiro had a very black and white way of seeing things.
ところで、
Yeah.
その固まった小麦粉みたいなの、美味しいのか？
Sojiro stared at the energy bar with a curious look on his face. Probably doesn't taste very good.
まずくはねえが、うまくもねえよ。人間、何事も手間暇惜しむようになっちゃおしまいだぜ。ことが三大欲求ならなおさらだ。
Okay. Tobimaru quickly finished off his bar, put another one on the table, and grabbed one of Sojiro's rice ball. Okay, they traded. Doesn't seem like a fair trade, but I guess Sojiro is curious. Sojiro failed to notice the rudeness of the forced exchange. Yeah, it's like they didn't even agree. That is not a fair trade. And gave the proffered energy bar a try.
なんだか土を食べてるみたいだ。
I love his dissatisfied face. It kind of tastes like dirt.
違いない。遊びをなくせば人生こんなもんだって見本だな。
Damn. Out of principle, Sojiro labored over his energy bar, cringing all the while. He was both curious of the unknown and loath to leave something unfinished. It's good to know about him.
今無理に平らげる必要はねえぞ。そいつの利点は携帯食ってところだからな。素で味気ないが、食えるうちは味が落ちないのがいいところだ。まあ、そっちはともかく。どうだ、少しは慣れたか？
ああ、飛丸や青崎が気を使ってくれているからね。
Okay, so they've still been helping him, both Tobimaru and Aoko. So that's good. I'm not sure how much Aoko and Sojiro have interacted since they first met, but I guess they've just been actively helping him still, so that's good. They did dump the responsibility on him, so on them. Tobimaru turned his eyes up to the ceiling, unable to handle Sojiro's carefree smile. As absent-minded as Sojiro might have been, his expressions were nonetheless incredibly earnest. It was like poison to someone as self-absorbed as Tobimaru. That's funny. I really like Sojiro. Wow. He took a bite from the rice ball to steer himself away from such thoughts. Though now cold, the rice had managed to maintain its freshness, startling Tobimaru.
ん？いや待て。気を使ってんのは俺だけじゃねえか。青崎なんて、お前が転入した日に彼迷惑だから見張ってての一言だけだぞ。
That's tsundere for I actually like him a lot.
なんでそこで君が怒るんだ？
いや、だからだな。お前が学校になれるよう陰ながら見守ってんのは俺で、青崎は生徒会室で全校生徒の弱みを集めてるだけって話だ。
Tobimaru stopped himself, realizing how ridiculous he sounded. Sojiro, rightly so, knew it was nothing to get this upset over.
まあ、いいさ。青崎に言いつけられなきゃこうなることもなかったしな。知ってるか？あいつ、どうして俺にこんな役させたと思う？
Why?
副会長だからだろ。
Tobimaru's handsome face went dark.
あのな、どうして副会長が転入生一人にかかりっきりにならなくちゃいけねえんだよ。いいぜ。機会があったら青崎本人に聞いてみな。あいつの本性がわかるからよ。
I'm sure he will learn. Like the real Aoko. But we'll see. He snatched another bite of the rice ball while grumbling under his breath. There it was again, rice grains that were just dry enough to be fresh and tender in the mouth, a morsel that betrayed its humble description which must have been delicately molded by a master chef rather than haphazardly clumped into a ball. My man does work at a restaurant. Probably got him from there.
そして何よりこの塩加減中の具から染み出した玄妙な醤油加減はどうだ。食欲をそそるどころか脳を食欲だけにするような。おお。
The sparkles, my goodness. It is delicious. Damn.
飛び丸、思ってることが口に出てるみたいだけど。
あ、いや、それほどのショックだったってわけだ。
It's so good. I have not eaten today yet. I gotta do that after this.
なあ、その字。これ具はなんだ？
Sonoji. What? Is that a reference? It was only natural to inquire about the unexpectedly delicious bite. Sorry, there's a truck outside, so you might hear them. He'd been nibbling around the edges and had not yet reached its center. Ooh.
それはイナゴ。
Grasshopper? Wait, what? Wait, huh? Wait, the filling? Oh my god. The filling is grasshopper? I didn't process that at first, that he just said grasshopper was the filling. What? The vice president choked on his cough. He had assumed that Sojiro would prefer earthy ingredients instead of seafood on account of his mountain life, but he never expected he would use grasshoppers.
くそ、食う前に言えよな。信じられねえぐらいうまいと思っちまったじゃねえか。
Bitch, you basically stole this rice ball. I mean, not really. It was a shitty trade. You can't complain. Also, yes, it was delicious. Look, if I had a delicious grasshopper-filled rice ball, I'd eat it too. If it was delicious, I'd eat it too. As long as there ain't no, like, legs in there, like, whatever.
あ、今のは嘘だよ。
Oh. God damn it. Oh, you learned how to joke, Sojiro. Oh, shit. He got his ass. He got me too. I didn't think Sojiro had it in him yet. Okay. Okay. Doesn't mean they didn't have humor up in the mountains. And he's a quick learner. They locked eyes for a moment.
本当は鮭。いくらなんでもイナゴはね。
Yeah, idiot. Damn it, he got me too.
おお。そうだよな。いや、安心した。いくらなんでもイナゴはねえよな。
But because it's Sojiro, it's like you believe him. That's so funny. Also, when he said to Aoko, like, yeah, I have like 7 jobs, or however many he said, it's like, no, because later he was talking about, it's like, it's not that his part-time job was tiring, right? It described only one of his jobs, and I was going to bring that up, like, oh, only one of his jobs? But was he joking with Aoko back then, too? I don't know. But that is funny. He got your diet Gilgamesh ass.
ああ、こんな都会で身の締まったイナゴが手に入るもんか。
Obviously. As curious as those words were, Tobimaru decided to let them go. As if Sojiro tried, right? Like he tried to see if they were fresh grasshoppers. So, I mean, you can't even get them here anyway.
たく。ど
Obviously.
っちにしても冗談きついぜ。危うく吐き出すところだったじゃねえか。らしくねえぞ、宗十郎。
君が青崎の悪口を言うからだ。
Oh, wow. That's why? Whoa, I did not expect that. That's why he made that joke to fuck with him. Because, yeah, he was just talking shit about Aoko. Like, I have to do all this while she just has to, you know. And he stopped himself, but he was complaining a lot about her. Damn. Sojiro closed his eyes as he continued to chew on his rice ball. Tobimaru watched incredulously as Sojiro made no attempt to hide his disapproval.
おい、今のはさすがに聞き捨てならねえぞ。 俺が青崎の悪口を言ったから意種返しをしたと、そういうことか？
I love that he just outright said it. Sojiro continued chewing. The country boy's silent protest said all that needed to be said. Oh, he's big mad. The vice president suddenly looked like he had been struck by lightning.
なんてこった。お前、まさか青崎に惚れてんのか？
I mean...
そうなのか？そうなんだな。おい、眠ってねえで起きろ。
Oh, he's getting jealous. Competition. But according to what that one girl said, he got turned down. Could be why he's extra like, oh wait, don't tell me you like her. Oh my goodness. Whoa! Tobimaru flew out of his chair and violently shook Sojiro by the shoulders. Nah, you gotta relax. Sojiro opened his eyes.
そうか。お前は1年前の惨劇を知らないんだな。知ってりゃ、そんなストレートな破滅願望を持つこともなかったろうに。
What, when she rejected you?
君の言葉には誤解が含まれてるけど、それは後にする。
You're wrong, but that's okay.
1年前の惨劇って？
I don't think he's wrong. But I gotta hear this. Tobimaru regained his composure and sat down after a moment's thought. He's probably thinking, oh, once he hears this, he'll let go of liking her for sure.
仕方ねえ。この手の噂をするのは好きじゃねえんだけどな。
This is either going to be what happened to him or complete bullshit. Tobimaru reassured himself that it was in Sojiro's best interest as a young man to know.
あれは青崎がまだ1年の頃の話だ。あの頃はみんな入学したばっかりで、青崎がどんな性格か誰も知らなかった。あいつ外見は文句なしに美人だからな。そりゃ男どもは狂気乱舞したもんさ。
Little did they know that soon after they would go crazy for an entirely different reason.
4月5月はもう上を下への大騒ぎだよ。
Wait, what?
あの時ばかりは上級生も下級生もなかったな。野郎同士の牽制、共闘、果ては決闘まで。まあよくも騒いだもんさ。青崎に近寄るだけでも大変だったんだぜ。
なんでそんなよくわからない事態になるんだ？
そりゃ青崎は一人きり、命知らずな野郎は延べ100人ほどいたからだよ。一人一人青崎とランチしても3ヶ月かかるだろ。
Damn, just every dude liked her. Probably still does.
だからまずは男同士でつまんねえ暗闘があったのさ。
This song is nice too. I'll say that about every song in this, I'm sure. Huh. It's almost like... Huh. I like that song.
まあいい。わからねえならそこは飛ばそう。所詮負け犬どもの話だしな。本筋にはなりえねえ。でな、そんなどうでもいい戦いを勝ち残った奴らは列なしで1年の女に言い寄ったわけだ。
What did she do to her suitors?
青崎はあれで、なんていうか、相手のなけなしの誠意じゃなくてあれか、勇気。そういうのを無視できずに認めちまうやつだからな。
Okay. So maybe someone crossed the line then.
言い寄ってくる相手を可能な限り丁寧に断ってた。が、中にはそれで勘違いしちまうやつもいたよ。
Yep. It was you, wasn't it?
3年のある野郎が、これは脈ありと見て、青崎に何度も言い寄ったんだよ。
It's the third year.
多分 そいつ頭がおかしかったんだ。今にして思うとそうとしか思えん。
Dude got obsessed, I guess. Yikes. Incidentally, Tobimaru decided to gloss over the fact that this student was also the former student council president. Oh.
学園ばかりか。青崎の家まで押しかけたそうだ
Oh
な。
no.
あまりにしつこいんで、青崎も堪忍袋の尾が切れたんだろう。
Yeah.
ちょっと口にするのははばかられる方法で振ったんだよ。
Dude started stalking her? Oh, yeah, what the fuck? Get him. Ooh.
結果、そいつは自分から他校に転入希望したばかりか、
Damn.
三崎町からも逃げ出しちまって、青崎も
Oh,
1ヶ月ばかり自宅謹慎を食らった。
Golly. Dude left town completely. Probably convinced his whole family. I mean, I guess his family's saying that he got beat the fuck up. He probably didn't tell the truth, or if he did, they didn't care. But hell yeah, Alco.
世に言う血の公会堂事件だ。詳しく知りたけりゃ本人はまずいな。新聞部にでも行け。あそこの部長は命知らずだから、聞けば面白がって教えてくれる。
Well, damn. Don't cross the line.
飛び丸、その具体的な表現を恋に避けてないか？
仕方ねえだろう。理事長の息子だろうがなんだろうが、怖いものは怖えし、高校ぐらいは無事卒業しとかねえとな。うちの女子の制服見るたびに規制を上げるトラウマなんて持ちたくねえよ。
Sojiro tilted his head to the side in confusion. Tobimaru had lost him with that comment.
まあいい。それより、
I don't think I fully
なんで
understood
青
that
崎なん
either.
かがいいんだよ、宗次郎。
He tilted his head again, this time to the other side. Dude, he's sweating. It's Gilgamesh asking, so why do you like Saber?
おい、お前、本当に青崎が好きなのか？単に胸がドキドキ言ってるだけなら、それは恋じゃなくて恐怖だってオチもあるぜ。いくらその字がぼんやりでも、理由ってもんがあるだろう。
He tilted his head even further. What Tobimaru was saying sounded off, but Sojiro decided not to press the matter. All the more because he found many of his own emotions towards Aoko Aozaki to be incomprehensible.
そうだな、おかしい。俺はあまり彼女を知らないのにね。
So he doesn't understand how he feels about her. She doesn't understand how she feels about him. That was because they had not truly spoken to each other since the day she showed him around. Got it. That's what I had thought. Something Sojiro said earlier made me think, oh, maybe they had. But yeah, this makes sense. They haven't spoken since that day. Every time Sojiro tried to talk to her, she immediately got up and left. Oh, she's avoiding him. Got it. She doesn't even want to confront why she can't stop thinking about him. Just running from her feelings. As fate, this ain't fate, would have it, they ended up working together that recent Sunday, but made only idle chatter on the way and back.
けど飛び丸、君は知らないだけなんだ。時々なんだが、誰かの視線を感じて振り返ってみると、いつ失敗するかを心配して見ている人がいる。
Yeah, she is worried about you.
飛び丸の言う通り、ただ廊下で俺を見かけて、単に監視していただけなのかもしれない。本当は俺のことなんて気にせず素通りしたいのかもしれない。けど、どんな種類であれ、彼女の心配は本物だ。
It 100% is.
それに、ここが一番大事だと思うんだけど、実際の話、青崎のそういうところのおかげで、俺は助かっていたりするんだ。
Yeah, though she hasn't spoken to him, she's still watching. She's, you know, still worrying. Even if she claims, like, oh, it's because we'll have to clean up the mess. Like, no, she cares. His tone was measured and sincere. Tobimaru sighed with a tinge of regret. And I'm glad Sojiro understands that too. If not for those words, he could have introduced Sojiro to a more suitable girl with whom he could have lived out the rest of his school days in peace. But yeah, even Tobimaru knows, after hearing that, he never went to such lengths for his other friends. Generally speaking, if it was of some benefit to him, he was unafraid of exploiting another. If they were of no use, he didn't bother getting involved with them. That was how Tobimaru Tsukiji operated. I see. Sojiro happened to be the type of person who provided no benefit to Tobimaru, yet somehow sparked in him a desire to help. That's interesting. It was not that friendship was completely alien to him. He just did not have many people he felt that close to. So if Sojiro had really fallen for Aoko, it was not his place, as a friend, to try to change his mind. Oh, wow. That was oddly sweet out of nowhere. Wow. Even Tsukiji feels that way about Sojiro. Not his place as a friend, wow. Because yeah, he sees it's... Even if Sojiro can't see it. Yada yada.
惚れてるやつには理由なんていらねえんだな。
Even if Sojiro can't fully understand it, dude can definitely tell.
そんなことはない。理由なら一つある。彼女を一目見たときに綺麗だなって思ったぞ。
Ah, okay. Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Tobimaru's shoulders slumped.
なんだあんだけ恥ずかしいセリフ言っといて、要は外見に惚れてますな。結局見てくれかよ、宗次郎。
It can be both for that and no reason, I guess.
綺麗なものに見とれるのはいいことじゃないのか？
Nothing.
自分を綺麗に見せる努力をしているんだから、外見から内面を判断するのはそんなおかしな話じゃないと思う。
Sure, long as you don't just judge them off that. That sounded like a sophism to Tobimaru, but he had no counterpoint to offer.
しょうがねえ。わかったよ。この話はもうやめよう。その字が誰をてめえの女にするか、俺の知ったことじゃねえし。
Now, Tobimaru was mistaken about one major point during this whole conversation. Oh? Namely, that Sojiro was not head over heels in love with Aoko and hoped to go steady with her. He merely liked her as a person. Nobody could have foreseen the massive calamity that would be caused by this simple misunderstanding. Oh no.
だがよ、一つだけ忠告しておくぜ、宗次郎。
Okay, so as of right now, Sojiro likes her as a person. And look, throughout the story, they don't have to get together. Of course. Me just having a meta understanding of how Nasu writes stories, just know that's usually how it goes. But it doesn't have to, right? So, but as of right now. But also, Sojiro doesn't fully understand how he feels, so.
青崎は喧嘩をした相手だろうと別に嫌うわけじゃない。逆に言えば、
yep.
親切にしたって別に好かれるわけでもない。
Yep.
いい例が俺だ。
Very true. He spoke with a pained sigh as if opening old wounds from the past.
そうか。詳しく。
おう、昔な、あいつがあんまりに独善的だったんで、半年前の夏だ。1年もあいつと生徒会やってたもんだから、俺も女っつうより戦友って気になっててな。
Dude's got or at least had an anger issue, jeez.
つい勢いで平手打ちをしようと右手を上げた。我ながら4番バッターも角也という腰のひねり。確かな実感とともに俺は勝利を確信したもんさ。
I think it's a miracle this guy is alive. He had a distant look in his eyes as his words trailed off.
翌日になって、こりゃ完全に敵扱いされたなと覚悟して生徒会室に行ってみりゃ。
Oh, I almost
青
thought
崎
he.
はいつも通りだった。
Okay, I almost thought he said when I came to in the student council room, as if he was unconscious before he knew it. But no, okay. Wow.
で、以来あいつと俺は会長と副会長で収まってる。
Whoa. She didn't do anything. Soichiro sighed at his story. He then said with absolute confidence,
今の話を総合すると、君は単にのろけたいのか？
Oh shit. Damn, what kind of insight check did he just pass? Bro, Sojiro, he is so interesting. You cannot underestimate this guy as far as what he understands. There's a lot of things he doesn't understand about this new world, but as far as people, he just gets it sometimes. A lot of times. Like not necessarily about himself, but about other people. Clearly he had missed the point entirely.
なわけあるか。今の話のどこに甘酸っぱい要素があんだよ。俺としちゃあいつを女として見なくなった決定的な事件だったんだがね。
She just took the hit and that was that. Like how you'd fight like with your guy friend or something and just like, oh, whatever. That's crazy though. Wow, she didn't do anything. She wasn't pissed. She just, that was it. Weird. Wow. Okay, maybe that wasn't. Maybe Soichiro didn't read into that. Maybe he's. But I wouldn't put it past this guy to like say something like that with that intention, just given what we know about him. But also, he's seeing Sojiro more as a friend now, so he's like being genuine, so that's funny.
なんだ、違うのか？
A look of disappointment flittered across Sojiro's face. Disappointment. Tobimaru revised his opinion. Sojiro was something of a simpleton, but there was a quality to him that Tobimaru could not quite place.
とにかくだ。俺が言いたいのは、青崎青子の好き嫌いの基準ってのは普通じゃないってことだ。いいことをすれば好かれる。気に入らないことをすれば嫌われる。ってわけじゃねえんだよ。あのお姫様は。
Got it. Yeah, she is not conventional at all. Sojiro answered that he would keep it in mind as he looked to the clock. They had been talking for a while and lunch was almost
もう
over.
君からの話はないか？
Man, that was a good conversation. I didn't expect it to go that way about Aoko, but that makes sense. Huh. Because yeah, as far as like understanding her character more, all that Tsukichi said and how she responded to those situations, like her exploding at the one dude like who stalked her, understandably, of course, fucking beat his shit in, and then getting hit by Tsukiji, which is crazy, but then just going on as normal. The mask that she wears, as far as like being nice and being just the ideal student council president, and but also her bluntness and her being like mean, quote unquote, but that doesn't mean she doesn't like you, right? Understanding Aoko. She is it's like a complex tsundere. You almost can't just like label her that because it's not that simple, but it's cool. Definitely similarities to Rin.
あ？初めからねえよ、そんなの。
ん？
Why Tobimaru even brought him here in the first place? Sojiro tilted his head in wonder, but shook it off to deal with the more pressing matters at hand. Huh. Man, I really like that he sees Sojiro as like a friend now, like that he didn't even realize till that moment. That's cool. Even though he's like
じゃあもう少し付き合ってく
kind
れ。
of a shitter.
飛び丸に聞きたいことがあったんだ。
Oh, okay.
Huh?
Tobimaro sat up straight, having never seen Sojiro's face look so serious before. Okay. Sojiro set aside his rice ball and cleared his throat.
実は昨日こんなことがあって。
Ooh, we're gonna find out what happened. Okay. He spoke solemnly. Oh, because that's right. Because he came to the conclusion of what was distracting him. I totally forgot. Like, he's like, it must have been what happened last night. Okay. He spoke solemnly, and as carefully as possible, he recounted what had occurred the night before. Oh, here we go.